Oh, for sure, don't you know, you betcha, sweet brown maiden said to me, as she gave me language lessons on the beach at Waikiki. Oh, for sure, don't you know, you betcha, she was only teasing me. So I grabbed her hand and kissed her on the beach at Waikiki. Remember that, dear sweet brown maiden. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. This is just driving me crazy, this one. Should I just make a big old bun on the top of her head? I'm hungry. I ate lots of food last night, and I had more beer than I should have had last night. I don't want to go down that slippery slope. Okay, why aren't you glued? Why aren't you sticking? Am I doing something wrong here? What am I doing wrong? Hey, Effects Tunnel. I've been thinking about you. Good thoughts, of course. I've been thinking that I should send you some pens, since I need the money. That's a good reason to send you pens. You're in the mood to buy. I should send you pens. Why don't I do this? Why don't I, later today, if I have the ability, find the pens that I had earmarked for you. Plus maybe some that will be a surprise, and I'll take a picture and I'll send them to you, and you can tell me if you want them. It will, along with the prices, of course. Because we need prices. I have a feeling I'm going to be going back to Minneapolis sometime kind of soon, and I'd like to be able to do the pen stuff before I go. Well, yeah, but I also know within your all over the map, I think, I don't know what I'm even going to try to say here. I think the all over the map isn't as all over the map as all over as you might think it is. I think that you do have some I do think you have some parameters. That's the word I want. So I'm making these little faces out of diplomas. No, Schaefer. I mean, I think, I do have those blue Schaefers for you, and I want to get them in your hands before you get bored with the idea of having them. Because when you're bored with them, that doesn't help me at all, does it? So this looks like a perfectly good hairdo to me. So I may make very small, what are these faces? Graduates. Do I have an OO in school anywhere here? What happened to my, there we go. Testimonial. The O could be a mouth. This is someone singing loudly in the choir. I'm thinking that rather than gluing, pieces onto these things, I may just take the portrait out and just use the backing. I had thought of gluing them right on the thing, and that did not work as well as I had hoped. So if I just take out the picture completely and have this nice backing, I can stick a head here. It might be kind of fun. Now this guy, Bob, it seems to me that this guy flunked 7th grade maybe 12 times, because he doesn't look like he's 18 to me, this guy. Fuck yeah. So here we have a mouth, and we have where I need some eyeballs. So two. This, look at this. This is a face right here. I don't even have to do a goddamn thing. Two eyes and a mouth and a big hairdo. But what I might do is it's not going to work. I mean, it almost works, but it's not working quite right. He was a late bloomer. I think he might have been an early bloomer. You know, he hit puberty when he was in second grade. Can I say puberty on TV? This could be a set of eyes and a mouth. So let's see if I can find a nose. Close set eyes and a nose. I need to use tweezers. So here's a nose and nostrils. And a big old mouth singing. Ransom notes, yeah. It's funny. I did make a note. A late note. You know, late. You know, I sent you a invoice long ago. Where's the money? And I drew with a pen, cross-hatched. I drew a ransom note made of essentially. It looked like I glued everything to, but I drew the picture of it. I drew it rather than sent it out. And clearly, anyone that was looking at it would know that Per Gustafsson had created this thing. So I would have been arrested post haste. So I ended up just buying a bunch of these things recently on eBay, and I probably shouldn't have done that because I don't have the money to spend on these things. But maybe FX Technol will buy some pens from me. Maybe my friend FX Technol will buy some pens. Okay, this one is going to have this lock of hair coming down. Single lock of hair. Come on. Thank you. So here's our hairdo. How does that look? I think I need some ears on this thing too. Let me glue this on. See? Little mop of. Well, I know you'll buy pens from me. But I don't want to. A friend of mine that I've sold a lot of pens to, he is trying to. He bought a pen at the Boston Pen Show that had a number 4 nib that he thinks sticks out too much, which it does stick out too much. But if he shoves it in, the number 4 gets covered up, and if he pulls it out too far, then the nib hits the inner cap. So he's in a sort of a quandary. And I thought, well, I can find a number 4 nib that's maybe a stub, where the lines aren't quite so bold, or the tines aren't so long. And he was telling me that people, are selling these number 4 stubs for $200 just for the frickin' nib online. And I thought, God, highway robbery. But then I think, I can't find these pens anymore for that amount of price. Maybe I need to raise my prices. I shouldn't be telling this to you because you don't want me to raise my prices. But you want me to be fair, I'm sure. You want me to. The nose is a little crooked, but some people have crooked noses. Some people do. Don't they? Now, ears. Look at this mustache. That's a pretty fancy mustache right there. That's going to be a mustache. How's that for? I think I can take these off. I don't need that. As much as I like them, I don't think I need those. Use that elsewhere. So if this is a mustache, we have to have a note. We have to have a mouth underneath that. I forget what this one was. I think I have a picture of it somewhere. So I showed on the Typewriter Collectors Facebook page my diplomas, as well, masks, I guess you'd call them. And I showed complete, uncut, uncircumcised, unmutilated what's the word I want? Diplomas from this high school for this woman that won a award for typing. And I thought, that was kind of neat, and I said I'm gonna turn these into these things. Use your words, Pierre. Well, anyway, I showed the things, and no one, people thought that the little diploma masks or faces were really fun. No one said, "Oh, I really want to buy those diplomas." Had someone actually said that, I might have sold them the diplomas, but no one said that, so I went ahead and did them. And someone said, I would have taken the diplomas I would have made a Xerox of the diplomas and cut up the Xerox. And I thought, No, that's not what I'm doing. And then I did say something like, these diplomas were, for example, this diploma was given to Raymond Wilkins in 1951. Now, he probably got married, had children, or a couple of children, and he probably has grandchildren, and grandpa dies, and let's throw all this shit away, including this thing. So if his own kids and his own grandchildren don't want these things, I don't feel I should have to be a custodian of these things. It seems like they're on the way to the landfill. They're not horribly, make art with it. And people will look and enjoy this thing I did with the Gorbachev birthmark more, I'm sure, than they would have looking at this thing. So I think I'm just going to make a bunch of singers. I think that's the, here's one singer. Here's another singer. Big old mouth. Here's another singer. I think I need to have the mouth be. Give me another O. Maybe the mouth on this one can be the O in the written words. It's probably too small, isn't it? Come on, Pierre. Think. Yeah, a barbershop. Make your vowels round. This is an O, believe it or not. So I've got these little beady eyes and eyebrows. I need a nose that is. This can be a nose. Give me another nose. This is almost done. Just get it out of my face. It's going to have more of the hair on it. Get that out of my face. Here's another O. Okay. There's a O. I'll use that one. See, those are two little eyes. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? Effects Technol. am I doing? Oh, it's this one. So I think I'm going to be doing a drawing with, God damn it, with Russell today. I think that was on our plans of things to do. He was in a little better mood. Maybe this one, the nose, will be subtle. Russell was a little sad because of his job. I think he was a little disappointed that his students were as lazy as they are. I think that really made him unhappy. I think he was trying to think that they would be a little bit more enthusiastic about what they were doing in his class. Look at these little beady eyes. Are those going to be beady eyes? With funny little... Oh, look, they can be two little beady eyes with little how's this going to work? There. See, two little eyebrows. I'm making these things out of little crumbs. This could be a mouth wavering, nervous mouth. More eyes, eyeballs. I need a nose for this guy. Aha, I think I just found one. There you go. This nose is a little, he's looking a little bit, a little profile going on here. Tiny little nose. What would yours be, FX Technol? What would your joke diploma be? Sounds like a fun idea. Someone asked me, one of my friends in Minneapolis asked me to do something for him, which I never ever did. The idea I liked a lot, but I just never did it. And it was the Honorable Mensch Society, the sort of Yiddish term for kind of a good guy. And I had this idea. The other thing about this particular guy was he and the person who was going to get the diploma loved to talk about how the world is coming to an end and the conservative rich people were taking over the country. And that was essentially their Canada calls you a mensch. So he had this idea. They have this idea. He and this other guy in this group, the group of two people, had this idea that the rich people, rich perhaps Christian people, conservative Christian rich people were going to take over the world, and it was them that that they continually talked about, and that they had all the power. These people had all the power, but this guy, the guy that wanted me to do this, is a watch dealer, and he doesn't fix them himself, but he sells vintage watches. So I wanted to create this diploma that looked like an interior of a set of watches and gears, and the lettering would be on the gears, and you'd go from one part of the thing to another by following the gear tracks. And I think he liked that idea, but I said, I need you to give me the wording. And do you want the wording to be sort of very convoluted, where you don't really, it doesn't say, this is awarded to blah by the Honorable Mensch Society, but do you want it to say something like, to all who may read this, greetings, hereby it is certified that the Honorable Mensch Society, Mensch, all of those fancy words. And he never got around to telling me, so I never did it. I often, I require people. I'm not a writer. There we go. Sweet Adeline, my Adeline, you're the apple of my heart. What is it? Of my heart, sweet Adeline, sweet Adeline. Well, the words are all different on these things. Some of them are a little bit more, they start out with things like, for duties above and beyond the blah, 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 blah. You know, that's some of them. And other ones are differently worded. So here we have two little beady eyes and little crossed eyebrows. Yeah, well, that was part of the thing, to have it be very, like, you don't even know what you're looking at. You don't even know what it means because it's so complicated. Are those going to be good enough? Beady eyes. Give me a nose. And a mouth. I think the mouth on this one is going to be very, where did it go? There. Maybe this person will have lots of hair, since they don't have much else going on. So in your I just made a new iPad holder upper, and iPad holder uppers that you buy online, or they have clamps, and they're meant to go on a table, but there's always something wrong with them. There's always a weak link. Sometimes it's a clamp. Sometimes it's the goosenecky thing. Sometimes it's the clamp that holds the iPhone or iPad. There's always something wrong. So I end up having to jerry rig something. And my jerry rig in this case is the following. I'll show you. What I did was, my belt is caught on. Are you still here? My thing, it just went black. Are you still there? It just went black, and then had the little thing that says plug it into the power. And I plugged it into the power and it's 60%. So what the fuck? What the fucking fuck? So what I did was, here's this little clampy thing. Here's the thing that holds the iPad. Here's the little goosenecky thing. The thing at the gooseneck, at the bottom of the gooseneck, was some sort of clamp that broke because it was so shitty. This is breaking here, which is shitty. So I think what I'm going to do is just tape this tight and slide it in and hope it doesn't slide out. But what I did was I took this, here's, a table lamp, and I attached a heavy weight to it and hose clamped this thing to this. So this is really heavy, but it's also, I used to have this hose clamp, this thing clamped to this edge, and the hose clampy thing was, the contraption was in my way, and here I can just lift the whole fucking thing up and I can carry it around with me, put it anywhere I want. I know it's ugly, but it's functional. I have many of these things that are, here's a selfie stick from the dollar store, plastic wire tied, whatever these are called, to a camera mount, which is attached to a clamp that held something else. I guess it was for holding a camera. So this is fine. That works fine for an iPhone. But god damn it. But I'm using the iPad so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I can read what I'm doing here. So I'm turning this around so you can see my pretty face. Why don't I invite you in? I'm sorry. I should have been doing this. So I've been asked to be one of the people on Joost Appelboom's top 3 series. I met him at the Pen Show in Boston. He was here, and I sort of buttonholed him, and I said, I need to be on one of your Penfluencer things, because I've been penfluencing people for 35 years. So invite me. And he did. After a fashion, he invited me. And so I have all sorts of fun ideas for it. And I've been looking at some of the penfluencers out there, and some of them have fun, and some of them seem to have a lot of fun. And I thought, well, I can have fun too. He allows people to have fun. So I will do that. I will continue to have fun. Okay, let me see. I need a nose. I don't know if you're still in the room, so I'm not going to say any more until you're back in. Meanwhile, I'll be looking for a nose. That's another mustache. Could be his hairdo. Does he have the barber just turn them upside down and do the rest of them? Okay, Mr. Smith, just let me turn you upside down. Here you are. Add to stream.
Hello.
Hello. So
Hey, this is working.
So anyway, Used Appleboom. Have you ever watched those top 3 pens of series that he puts out?
Oh, the Applebaum guy? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's asked me to be in it, to be one of his things, one of his guys.
Cool, because I totally nominated you for that.
Okay. Oh, good. Thank you. I also told him to get me to have me do it as well. So he, but anyway, I'm doing it, and so I have a plan where I'm going to show 4 pens. I'm going to end with the Franken pen, just because it's not really a pen.
Well, that's kind of your signature thing too.
It
Is the
is.
whole Franken pen.
It is a signature thing that I do, and it sort of allows me to then, pick one that I've done that maybe is the. I had been making Franken pens for many years, where I would just take a Waterman nib that I loved and shove it in a Parker dual-fold pen that I loved, But that's not really Franken penning in my book. Franken penning requires more parts than that, and but anyway, so my plan is to maybe show a drawer full of lots of pens that are similar. They have names engraved on them, for example. And I'll take just so you can see that I've got varied tastes, then I'll take the one pen out of that tray. So people will see the whole tray, but they'll see the one pen I'm taking out of it. So that's one of my plans.
So this is your way of sneaking in way more pens than just
way
3
more
or
pens.
4, but
Yes.
still technically sticking to my top
Yes.
3 pens.
My top 3 pens.
Yeah.
But I think I might also lead into a pen by saying, among these pens where this has this issue that I like, and I won't name the pens, I'll just point to the issue that I'm talking about. The wear on a pen, for example, I really like that. So, and then I'll pick the one pen and talk about it, how all of it makes me smile. But I'm also going to do things like, sometimes you see people who, like Marilyn, Ms. Marilyn does, where she'll have one camera down here and there's a little inset with her face talking here,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to do it the jerry-rigged way. And I'm going to have, I'll just show you what I'm going to do. Just a minute. This was being thrown out in my building, or put in our free area.
Oh, I used to watch a guy's YouTube videos, and that's what he would do, is he'd use a little mirror like that to show himself.
But this will be back there so you can see me talking somehow. I mean, I'll have it arranged in a way so it's big enough, but I just think that would be sort of fun.
I think that's a cute idea too.
And another one I want to do is I sort of want to have a different outfit on for each pen I'm talking about. the pen I draw with, which will be a Skyline.
Well, that's the
And
thing. Like a lot of these guys do their videos and they have all the fancy camera equipment and the editing software and all this.
but there's no car crashes. There's nothing. It's just them talking head
Yeah.
yammering on. And why
Well,
not
what
have
I'm
fun?
saying is that you could still have a pretty high production value of your video without having all that stuff just
Yeah,
by doing clever things.
yeah. I also thought I said, I'll make sure I'll edit it out so you don't have any of the goddammits. And Youst texted me saying that's fine. You can
Right, yeah.
leave those in. And so I thought what I would do. I also asked him, how do you pronounce your name? And I found one of his things, and he said, my name is Youst Applebaum, and it was the T was you could hardly hear it
Yeah.
because it went right into Applebaum. And I said, how do you pronounce your name without the last name? Is the T, do you hear the T or not? So he sent me a voice file, whatever, a message so I can practice. So at the end, when everything is done, there's going to be outtakes, like they do in feature films where they show people fucking up their lines. They'll be, God damn it. And there'll be ink spilling on my hands, and they'll be juiced, God damn it. So I think people will get a kick out of it.
I think everybody will be amused by that because I don't think most people, Americans especially, know how to pronounce a Dutch guy's name.
Yeah. So
I know a lot of guys from the Netherlands and stuff, and a lot of them have some really, really interesting names. I have a friend named Tice, and his name is spelled Thijs.
Of course it is.
Yeah, how the fuck
Yes.
do you pronounce that?
They just love using all those letters of the alphabet. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm still looking for a nose on this guy.
So you're saying that you want to sell me some pens.
I do.
So I have a request.
Okay.
Sell me something along the lines of these, if you can.
Oh dear.
Do you have anything like a 52 or like
Well,
a
I probably
wall or
52. I have to decide which one I can say goodbye to. There's so many that I have. I've got dozens of them. Okay. Now, which ones? I can certainly find one, I'm sure, that I can sell you. But
because these types of pens are like the ones my collection feels like it's deficient in. You know what I mean?
well, I think had in that package of pens I sent you, that Craig pen been in there, you might have said, "Oh, I now understand hard rubber." And
Yeah.
I'll keep that Craig this time.
No, I mean I do understand hard rubber now. So, and the only reason I didn't keep the Craig is because I couldn't get the nib that was with it to work properly.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it was the section and everything was way too tight.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'll find you some. Now you showed me a wall and you showed me a Waterman.
Yeah.
They're of
This
an
is
era.
this is my old Waterman 52 that has been living in Canada for a while and now is back in my hands.
Okay. Now, why you want another 52?
I would actually almost like to try like a 54 or something.
A 54 has a bigger nib. That's all it has.
Right.
It's the same exact size as a 52, except it has a bigger nib. So you're not really.
The 56s are worth a lot of money too, aren't they?
And 55s and 56s are sort of the next step up. And I don't know whether I have any of those that I can sell you. But
well, the thing with 52s though is that the nibs, man, the nibs are so much fun.
Yeah, they are fun. It's just if but there's 52 and a halfs, there's 52 Vs, There's 52.5 Vs. There's 72s. See, you've
Well,
got
here's a
it.
452.5 V.
Yeah, with its nib that I provided
Yep,
to.
that's the nib you gave me,
Yeah. So,
and it's perfect for this pen.
yeah.
I want to know what the heck was on this nib.
What was that?
The whole bottom side and even some of the top was, I don't know if it was India ink or what. But it had black stuff all over the nib, and most of my normal
Cleaning solution.
cleaning materials that I use to take cat, the normal cleaning materials would
Didn't do
not,
any.
yeah, it wouldn't cut that black stuff.
It was it. I do have a bunch of nibs that I bought from someone in Texas when I was visiting a boyfriend there at one time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in an antique shop, and I said, "Do you have any fountain pens?" And he said, "Well, I had a collection of fountain pens, and they all burned in a fire, but I have the gold nibs here." And they all were. There's nothing wrong with the nibs, but
Right.
the feed and the hard rubber or plastic that was around the pens had melted and stuck on. He didn't bother to clean any of them, and I said,
Well,
"Well,
I bet you that's exactly
so
what
that
this nib was.
it could have been from that fire."
Because
And,
yeah, that makes total sense then. Because whatever
but
that stuff was, it did not want to come
I
off.
mean, I had to the ones I used for myself, I chipped off, but I hadn't thought about these things in a million years, so I wasn't. I probably just thought it was dirty, dried up ink when I put it in the box for you. So
No, yeah, I was putting alcohol on it, different kinds of solvents. Nothing was taking that
you
stuff
sort of
off.
had to chip it off
Yeah, I
little by
basically had
little.
to chip
Yeah,
it off
yeah,
physically.
yeah. Well, that's what I had to do with the ones that I ended up wanting to put in a pen right away and use. But it seemed to me, I don't know how many I bought from him, like 30,
Mm-hmm.
and they were at least $10 a piece at the time when I was buying them, I think. So it's a long time ago, but anyway. So what's that? Oh, a Waterman. No,
This is a Conway Stewart.
Conway Stewart. Okay, you got that from
Yeah, this is a
Canada?
pen. It's called a dinky.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and you actually screw the cap onto the back here,
Yep.
and then it becomes like a normal length.
Yeah.
But the nib that was originally on it was messed up.
Uh-huh.
So Mr. Canada found this warranted
Oh,
nib.
beautiful looking nib on that one.
This nib is out of control. It's like a flexi double broad.
Wow.
And having it on such a tiny little pen like this, it's such a anachronism.
Yeah. It seems like not an anathema or something, or
Yeah, it's a mix that shouldn't be together, but it's so much fun.
It's I saw we sold at a Boston Pen Show a Parker Black Giant that had an accountant nib in it, and it just seems
Yeah, you told me about that once.
so wrong, and that seems kind of wrong too. Except I think
Just
of a
in the
pen
opposite direction.
I think of a pen like that. Those short, stubby pens. They're like little bulldogs. They have a lot more power to them and stubbornness, and they bark loudly. They just seem.
But he gave that to me because he could never get it all together and to fit properly.
Okay.
So I had to slightly modify the pen to make it all work. But once I put it all together, it works beautifully. It's got super good ink flow. It's a fantastic pen.
Perfect. Ouch. I just cut my finger with my scissors trying to
let's not Just don't run around the house with the scissors.
No, I won't. So I think this guy is going to have, that's going to be his hairdo. He's going to have that kind of hairdo. The same exact mustache. The guy's mustache is now this guy's hair. So,
I'll show you a few more of the things that I've gotten here recently.
okay.
I've got this.
Yeah, Slender Maxima. Is that what that is?
No, this is just a normal Vacuumatic long major. It's a
Okay.
speed line filler like
Yeah.
that, like right around a 1940, but it's burgundy. And I had every one of the other colors that they made Vacuumatics in, except for the burgundy.
Oh, good.
It seems like they're like the rarest.
I think blue might be rarer, though I don't know that for a fact, but I know that blues are.
The blue ones go for a lot of money now too, but I see a lot more blue ones than I do burgundy ones for some reason.
Yeah.
Here's a black Vacuumatic major that I got. I got this pen for $60
Oh, nice.
with a working diaphragm and everything.
Oh, good.
And I gave it a quick polish up, and this thing is beautiful.
Yay.
Super
Well,
nice.
yay you.
Super nice medium nib.
Uh-huh.
I even have a couple modern pens that I got recently, if you can believe that.
Well, I don't know why I wouldn't believe that. You do
just
have
not a modern pen guy usually.
But you have been.
Here's another Vacuumatic that I got. This one has the they call it a stacked coin band.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just a bunch of lines on it.
Yeah. Chased line.
And it's the same size. Like here is the same thing, but this is a normal major with the chevron bands.
Yeah.
And it's the golden pearl, the stripy brown ones.
Uh-huh.
But if you notice, the nib on the major is slightly bigger than the nibs on the juniors.
Okay. Yeah.
So this stacked coin band one is like a Vacuumatic junior with the nib size.
Huh. Well, those, whatever they are, Vacuumatic series were, there's so much variety that they had, and I don't know whether I ever learned the various names.
Yeah, I mean, I've been learning too as best as I can.
I once started making a chart showing the evolution of the vacuum.
Oh, like a Vacuumatic flow chart.
And it was really beautifully designed. I think I know I still have it. I never finished it because I got car sick trying to figure it out. But I can describe I'll draw what it looked like, because I thought the design of it was really, really neat. And so think of a huge flat chevron designed band, laid out. So it looks like this, sort of, right?
Yeah.
And what I did was I had half images of the pen. I didn't have to draw the whole thing. So here's the section, the clip, the band, the cap, like this, whatever the thing was. And this was maybe and this was a timeline. So this is 1931, whenever the vacuum filler started out.
Yeah, the first, what was it? The golden arrow and the vacuum fillers.
This is why I never got very far. So the first band, there were maybe two versions. There was so this said vac filler, and then down here was the year in Roman numerals, I think.
Right.
And this one, then it was some other vac type, and then this one had many different sizes available. So there was, again, just half the pen was shown. I didn't bother to show the whole thing because you don't need to show the whole
Right,
thing.
because those first gen ones were like the standards and the
and
lockdown fillers.
And then there was the lockdown filler, and then there was the speed line filler, and then there was the whatever. So it sort of ended up looking like, and I think maybe up here it might have said the colors they came in, brown, gray, black,
Right.
Then red was introduced here. So it was really a neat design, I thought, but I didn't know. Every time I tried to do it, I would find some other size or some other something, and I just got frustrated and I just left it be. So
yeah, it's the Vacuumatic series is almost as bad as some of the Schaefers, and the slight model variances and stuff like that.
So
well, here's one of the two modern pens that I've gotten recently.
Hold on 1 second. I'm just trying to cut this. What is that?
This one doesn't look like much until you take the cap off.
Okay. What is
it? This is a Pilot Metal Falcon.
Okay.
This is a sort of semi-flexible modern pen.
Okay.
And the nib on this pen is super cool. I wouldn't really class this as a flex pen.
Yeah.
But it's definitely got some softness to it. This nib reminds me a lot of like a Schaefer Feather Touch 5 nib.
Okay. Yeah.
The way it has softness.
Okay.
And for a modern nib on a pen, that's a killer writing pen.
Yeah.
That was a gift to me from Canada.
Canada. I think. Do I hear wedding bells in your future? I should. There should be something going on here, but I just want to say
it's
that
strictly professional.
I just want to say that I do design wedding invitations just in case.
Well, if we need to employ your services, we'll let you know.
In case you need to employ my services,
right?
But it does seem.
Just don't hold your breath on that. Is all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I won't hold my breath, but I'm glad that you two get along famously, but I really, the time I talked to him on the phone, I think, or on Skype, I don't know.
Well, it goes through periods. He'll be super busy for a minute, and then like one weekend, he'll have a bunch of free time, and I'll talk to him all weekend, that sort of a thing.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm glad that you are getting along with him fine and everything. When I talked to him, I was also talking to, what's his name, from Denmark or Copenhagen. I forget what.
Appleboom.
No, not Appleboom. It was the other guy.
Okay.
A guy that, and for some reason, neither one of them talk to me anymore. I don't understand why. Did the pens I sell them break and they're pissed off at me, or which is entirely possible. As you know, the sacks that I use, some of them are faulty, and but I just don't understand. They don't even, I send him emails, I send texts, and I haven't heard from Austria. I mean, he's from Austria originally, and he lives in Copenhagen or Denmark.
Well, I wouldn't take it super personal either.
No, well, I don't want to.
They're busy, or some of these people get into the hobby and get a few pins, and then their interests change.
I don't think that would be the case for either one of them. But
right.
I'm glad that
I'm just saying there could be a myriad of reasons why. I don't know if it necessarily the first conclusion you should jump to is that they're pissed off at you specifically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will hope that isn't the case,
That's all you can do.
because I would hate to think that they are, but at the same time.
Here's another of the modern pins that I've gotten. This is
Oh,
another pilot pin
okay.
from Japanese Pilot, and this pin is a custom 823.
Oh,
So
neat.
it's kind of got like a Mont Blanc thing going on. But the cool thing about this pin is this one is a vacuum filler with the
Okay.
plunger, just like Schaefer vacuum fillers. But
Okay.
this is a modern pin that's being made today with the same kind of vacuum filler.
Cool. Did
And of course, I've been writing with this too. One of my awesome PFMs.
one of the things that I the pen that I like the best that Wasky brought to Minnesota for me to play with was the Aurora 88 or 288 or whatever that's called.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of looks like a Fat 51.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those.
And one of
The
them,
one Wasky has is an Aurora 88,
yeah,
and it's like a late 50s, maybe early 60s version.
yeah.
Yeah, those are super cool pins.
Do you have one like that or not?
The one I have is a slightly later version, and the nib isn't nearly as flexy.
Okay. Hetty had two that were identical. I would have maybe asked him if he would want to sell one of them to me, but the one, he didn't realize this because he doesn't post pens normally. But one of the pens, the cap just didn't stay on; it fell off,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the blind cap. I think had been replaced and was slightly a different size.
Yeah, different diameter, so it wouldn't
post, it wouldn't stick. But I would love to get one of those maybe one day. I'd like to see.
No, the vintage Auroras are super cool pens, and out of all the pens that I've used so far, those vintage Auroras have something going on with their nibs. It's very unique. They have a really unique feel to them.
Yeah.
Unlike the early 88s, I wouldn't call them a flex nib necessarily, but they have quite a bit of softness and line variation for sure.
Yeah.
And compared to like a Parker 51, being the one trick pony that a Parker 51 is, an Aurora 88 is more fun to write with.
Yeah. Well, the one trick pony of the 51, it has two tricks normally. It does, you can do the reverse writing on them, and if
some of them you can, yeah, depending on how worn out the nib is.
But if my favorite 51s are those which were the right side up and the upside down, are quite different from each other, and that's not always easy to come by.
Like even a lot of Schaefers were advertised as having nibs that were intentionally made to where you got one line width the normal way and you flip it around and you get an even finer line.
Yeah.
But in my experience, even with new old stock Schaefers that had never even been used, some of them work better than others for sure.
Yeah. I'm working on this guy's upper lip here and his 2 teeth.
Hold on a second. I've got my own iPad here, so I've had the video full screen here, so I haven't even looking in chat to see if anyone's in there.
I don't think anyone is.
No, no one else has joined us.
No. I have
They must be busy Sunday morning.
I have met a few new people to my channel, and it was fun meeting. His name is Robert, and he's from Hungary, and he's an architect student of some sort. And he was interesting to talk with.
I don't know. That's what's fun about this whole thing is that we just kind of have our own little secret community off in the corner over here, you know?
Yeah. One person, I don't know, he texted or emailed, or it was a comment on the YouTube comment thing that I get, where he said, "You, sir, have a new follower," and it was because of these little diploma masks I'm making.
Oh yeah.
So how he found me and what he's actually interested in, I do not quite know, but you, sir, have a new follower. It was nice that he called me sir.
It's funny that they announced it like that.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
sir. You
have earned my subscription and admiration forever.
Yes. Sometimes, though, I have no idea who these people are. And one person said, I met you 10 years ago and you changed my life. Well, who are you? Who the hell are you? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Was this a manhunt date that went wrong, went amiss, or what? Did you buy a pen from me? It's sort of, it was someone who saw artwork that I had done that's in a museum in California.
Oh.
So, and
I saw a video that somebody had made from the Boston Pen Show.
Oh, okay.
And I was scoping out the video, trying to see if I could see you in the video.
Yeah.
But I did not see you. But what I did see is a bunch of people wearing your fezzes.
Oh, good.
Which I thought was pretty funny.
If you can find that video and send it to me, that would be great. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, there was a couple of things like time lapses of everybody going around the show. And there was an interview with somebody, I can't remember their name, and they were wearing one of your fezzes.
Could it have been Paul Arano?
I don't remember. It was an older guy. That's all I can remember.
Well,
I'll try to find the video. And I'll send
it could have been Paul or it could have been Andy Beliveau.
I just thought it was funny though, because those fezzes stick out in a crowd really well. So
I have one that I have to make for you. What should it say on yours?
That's totally up to you. You're the one that came up with all my catchphrases.
Ask your doctor about.
Ask your doctor about
whether.
I'm sure it's going to be some permutation of that.
Is right for you. Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll make it. I'll surprise you, and if you don't like it, too bad. because it'll be personalized. I know where I put the black hats. They're here somewhere. I'll be able to find them. Okay, this is sort of a weird one. This sort of looks like a lion to me, but he's
Yeah, it
part of
does kind of look like a
he's
lion.
part of the choir here. Well, I'm going to do the following. I'm going to throw some food down my gullet, and I will try to, in the next couple of days, it's not going to be today, put together the pens that I think you might like and see if in fact you do like any of them.
Cool.
And then see where that takes us.
Well, I feel like you have a bit more freedom now to pick things out you think I might like, because it won't just be only Schaefer's and only a particular type of Schaefer and something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I've become more and more of an omnivore as time goes on.
Yeah, well, omnivoria is a good thing to be.
That's the thing with the pen hobby. The thing that always keeps me coming back is the sheer variety of it all.
Yeah.
Each pen I pick up has a totally different character to it, the way it makes my handwriting look, and so on and so forth. I don't know, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. Okie doke. Well,
it was good catching up with you.
See you later. Okay, bye.
All right, take it easy.
Bye.